Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for what might be the final game of the evening here. LucifroN playing like a man possessed by way too much energy drinks and possibly approximately 1,000 APM against FRAER, who is now fighting for his life to stay in the tournament. This is, of course, the finals. It's a best of 3, and LucifroN is currently 2-0 up. The map in game number 3 will be Entombed Valley. Can FRAER bring it back? We'll find out in just a moment. Welcome to Entombed Valley, ladies and gentlemen, and this could be the final game here of the Vasacast Invitational. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner as the green Protoss player from the Ukraine, representing roxkis. Can he dig deep and find something here? It is FRAER. His opponent in the top right position of Entombed Valley, spawning as the orange Terran player, doing oh so much against his opponent in the first 2 games. He looks like he is unstoppable. Will his TVP finally falter in game 3, or will he complete the clean sweep? Representing Caranta Esports from Spain, we have LucifroN. And what an incredible match this is turning out to be, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea what FRAER can do to come back from this. He was comprehensively outplayed, to be honest, in game number 1. And in game number 2, he didn't while he had some really good blink micro, it has to be said, keeping LucifroN in his base for a long time and picking off a couple of siege tanks, he delayed the push from LucifroN, which is great. But if you delay the push, that means you're delaying it so that you can get something out when the push arrives at your front door to deal with the crowd, the bio ball. And unfortunately, we didn't see the DTs become Archons, for example, which might have been the logical choice even if he, regardless of whether he still would have won or lost. There were no Colossi out on the field, and there was no Storm. So it made things a lot more difficult for FRAER to defend, and even though LucifroN's units had very, very few hit points going into the last part of that game, he had units and FRAER didn't, and that's ultimately what made the difference. A little bit similar to Cloud's game earlier on, where he was able to win a game with significantly more units, but at such low hit points, also on Cloud Kingdom. So we're going to see what FRAER can dig out here in game number 3. He's going to be able to scout that an expansion has gone down very early on for LucifroN, and this probe is going to do its best to take out this SEV. We should be seeing a second one sent down here immediately from LucifroN. We have got barracks numbers 1 and 2 popping out here for him as well. And so a 2 racks expand, potentially better here for him. He'll be able to get a couple more Marines out. Is he then going to follow it up with gas and go back into Hellions like we've seen in games 1 and 2? Or is he instead going to be going for more Marine heavy early on and get a 3rd racks? We'll wait and see. Meanwhile, we have got the first Stalker being chrono boosted out now from FRAER as the SCV does actually head into the base, sees exactly what's going on and decides, actually, I don't want to stick around for that because that might be my life forfeit. Only 1 gas being taken so far. The Stalker is about to pop out. The SCV hanging around the natural expansion. And a probe just going to make sure it's not still inside the main base. The Stalker will be able to see it, though. And by see it, I mean walk straight past it. Okay, then. So the SCV will be able to get another scout off, and therefore will be able to see that the expansion is probably going to go down for FRAER at this point. It looks like a Zealot now going to be popping out to try and kill off this Marine. We have a little bit of StarCraft Master action going on right here, where it doesn't look like this Zealot is going to be on this Earth for much longer. Is the Stalker going to get the Marine? It does, but that might just be the consolation prize here because the bunker does go down and the Zealot does get picked off as well. And no, the SCV comes in to scout and the probe has not built an additional Nexus, and that's because 4 gateways are incoming. Oh, and he's going to show the Nexus, so this Nexus is going to get cancelled, I suspect, as FRAER decides, yep, immediately getting cancelled as well. He's going to be going for a 4-gate against LucifroN here on Entombed Valley. LucifroN going for that command center first, and here is where the action starts. As far as LucifroN is concerned, that Nexus went down, but suspiciously late. Imagine if FRAER, with his first Stalker, killed the SCV while it was still in this position, and then maybe he can show a Nexus to LucifroN later, I don't know. But this 4-gate would be a little bit... I just get the impression it would have been better. Why allow your opponent to scout? / deny, and look at this, already 2 full bunkers up for LucifroN. He's expecting some sort of huge early game attack from FRAER here in the game. I think he saw the Nexus going down and he thought, wait, this is a bit late. I'm not 100% convinced by that Nexus, and that has to be the case now because we actually see a bunker getting put down here next to the destructible rocks as well. So that's a total of 3 bunkers up here. And SCV moving out. Doesn't see the forward pylon, though. And that's going to be pretty crucial. He's actually going to be moving down with all of these Marines, trying to pick off a couple of Stalkers. He will be able to. He walked quite far before starting to engage, and 1 Stalker is going to go down here. We have a decent number of Stalkers and a couple of Zealots. That's not going to be enough against 2 bunkers. I don't think he's going to be able to take this. A couple of SCVs coming to try and repair. He needs a few more than that, but he will be able to repair the bunker that's in the middle. No sentries with this push at the moment. The Stalkers are going to run right on by. Let's see how much economic damage they can do. A lot of Marines, though, still here, and the SCVs tanking. And there we go. There's the warping of Zealots on the high ground. Might FRAER be able to get some purchase out of this? The current supplies are 37 for LucifroN versus 36 for FRAER. Worker supply 25 to 22. Still in LucifroN's favor. And the natural expansion is being sieged up, but don't forget it is still 2 bases versus 1. The first Zealot goes down. The second Zealot is about to go down as well. SCV is continuing to tank. Another warp in from FRAER, desperately trying to get some damage done, but an excellent bunker by the natural orbital command from LucifroN means that there's significantly less space for FRAER to deal with this attack. We have some Marines going down to try and stop that pylon as well. Oh, and this could be beautiful from LucifroN, taking apart the probe, killing both of those pylons as well. And all of a sudden, this 4-gate is looking like it's about to complete. Is this bunker going down? It looks like it is, but will it be enough? Still 2 more bunkers stand, and there are 3 SCVs here to repair it. A Marauder popping up as well, and the second lot of Marines killing those pylons, coming back to help defend as well. The Stalker count is getting pretty low. Only 4 Stalkers left on the high ground. FRAER at 36 supply to the 32 of LucifroN. The worker supply, LucifroN is down 17 to 22. He does have those double mules he can play with, though, and this attack is not over yet. Starting to build probes again is FRAER. Might be able to go into a macro game off of this if he does enough damage, but the problem is the orbital is still there, still collecting energy. He hasn't destroyed it. He stopped mining at the natural, but that's really about it right now. Desperately trying to come back in to pick up a couple more workers, which he's doing a good job of, to be fair. An extra 2 SCVs going down, and now he's going to try and escape. Will the Bio Army kill off a couple more units? It doesn't look like it, and there are actually 3 Zealots on the low ground as well, so LucifroN has to be very, very careful. And it looks like the attack's going to be over for now. The worker supply is 23 to 15 in FRAER's favor, so he can actually attempt to move back here and see if he can simply defend a subsequent push. It looks like he's going to be going in for an engagement here, and we have got a stim going down from LucifroN to try and pick off the rest of these units, and that was an overextension from FRAER. Only 4 Stalkers left, and LucifroN will be able to defend with this Bio Army at the moment. That's why he's getting a reactor and another tech lab on these barracks right now. He knows he doesn't have to produce an infinite amount of units right now to stay alive. He's getting the factory as well to try and get up to those medevacs ASAP. And FRAER is continuing to warp in units, but he has now actually got the natural expansion coming down. Alright, so it looks like for pretty much the first time in this game at the moment, we can all take a breath and figure out where our players are at. The supplies are surprisingly even, but LucifroN is about to get his medevacs out. He's also got the orbital command mining in 2 locations for quite a while now with those double mules, so he has an economic advantage here. The work supply is almost back up to parity, but just to give you guys an idea, LucifroN has a slight lead in minerals might. The SCV is already in position to try and repair the bunker against a follow-up push here from FRAER, and it looks like 1 Stalker is going to get caught out of position. Concussive shell not quite done yet, though, so not able to slow his retreat. And it looks like the supply depot just going to get attacked here, but the SCVs will be able to repair that as well. Concussive shell now completing, and 1 Stalker actually goes down more or less for free, and the high ground vision from LucifroN means he picks off a couple of extra units from FRAER. Not good news for him at all. FRAER does now have his Nexus, though, completed. He's not actually building any probes, though, and he's actually gone down in worker supply versus LucifroN right now. I felt that there was a stage in the game where he might have been able to go back, and it looks like he's going to try and move forward here, but a stim from LucifroN coming out, meaning he doesn't even need to bring the SCVs to try and repair the bunker. He might be overextending just a little bit, though, as FRAER desperately trying to cut him out in the middle of the map. The stim does expire, though, and LucifroN's units are on yellow health. Needs to be a little bit careful, and has he overextended a bit? There's still no SCVs repairing this bunker. Is FRAER going to be moving up to try and finish him off? No, he's actually building 2 more probes simultaneously right now, which I think is a good choice. I would have actually tried to do that maybe a minute or 2 earlier if I were him, because LucifroN now has medevacs out on the field. This is going to be so important, even salvaging his bunker, because his units are able to be healed by the medevacs at this point. He's going to come in and take apart these pylons, and FRAER is going to have to go home and play defensive for a little while. A couple of sentries coming out for those useful force fields, and potentially Guardian Shield later on as well, and a Twilight Council going down for him back behind the mineral line in his main base. SCV is also being pulled from LucifroN. I think he just wants to finish this game here and now. After that 4-gate from FRAER, LucifroN does not want to play any more games. He is absolutely going for it here on Entombed Valley. Will FRAER be able to hold on? Those 4 sentries need to do a stellar job right now. The first force field goes down. Second, third. Okay, so we have the army split. Quite good, actually. A couple units getting picked off. 1 sentry does go down, though, and the STV is actually going down for LucifroN. That was a good start to the engagement for FRAER. He's currently still down 20 supply, though, and here we go. Do we have more force fields? Only the 1 at the moment, and LucifroN is stimming. It's going to be enough. GG! And LucifroN, ladies and gentlemen, 3-0 is going to take the finals victory over FRAER and become the champion of the Vasacast Invitational.